good afternoon and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have, as you can see, we have the Jeep here ready to get put up on the lift, and you can see my RBP box here. We are going to do the max altitude lift for the JL Wrangler.
You make my pee-pee go, doing, doing, doing.
I'm totally kidding. We are going with a READYLIFT 2.5-inch lift. So definitely slightly smaller than like a 15-inch lift that Ryan's going with. But first things first, we have to get the lift out of Ryan's car because I couldn't fit it in the back of the Jeep with my fenders back there. So yes, I do still have the fenders from the factory, color match Mojito. So if any of you guys are interested, hit me up in DM on Instagram or something, and we'll figure something out. But we gotta get this lift out of Ryan's car so we can put it on the Jeep. Oh yeah, much smaller box. So as Ryan's finishing jacking the Jeep up in the air here, show you guys the lift. We have the READYLIFT 2.5-inch coil kit. There's a spacer lift as well, give you the same height for a little bit cheaper. There are just some spacers that go on top of your factory coils to give that little drop. So your Jeep will be sitting a little bit higher. All your hardware, some new bump stops, and then of course stickers. I love stickers. And then you also get these shock extensions. If you don't have any aftermarket shocks, you're just going to use these to extend your shocks that you have from the factory. But I did end up just ordering the Fox shocks for the 2 to 3 inch lift. So that's what you guys see back there. We have the front and then the rear as well with a bunch of stickers. Again, love having stickers to put on the Jeep, but since we got those, we don't need these. Anyways, guys, that's all that there is to this lift. Jeeps are relatively simple, straightforward. You can get them done relatively fast. Ryan does these all day long. He can probably do them in like hour and a half. So we're gonna knock this out depending on how creative I want to get with the filming. But I do want to give a shout out to our girl Allison at READYLIFT. She was answering all of our questions. She hooked it up with the kit and helped us out. So when I went to go buy the kit, she shipped it right to me, answered any questions I had, and possibly some things about READYLIFT that are coming out in the future. So we'll have to stay tuned and see what goes on with that. But as of right now, we have Ryan finished, got this thing jacked up. We're just gonna take the wheels off and start taking this thing apart and putting her back together.
Step number 1, don't forget your wheel lock key in the Jeep after you lift it up.
This is what happens when you forget it. So you're always going to start here in the rear because you're going to reuse your rear sway bar end links, move those forward, and then replace these ones with the new ones from the kit. But while we're back here, you guys get a good look of that Flow Pro axle dump exhaust. I mean, look how tucked up it is in there. I was like, it's so weird under here, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, I wasn't hitting my head on anything, and it's because the big muffler isn't there anymore. Look how much space it saves, and you don't have the exhaust coming out the back anymore, and it's all because of the axle dump exhaust. But you can get a good look at that Flow Pro. I mean, look how straight and narrow and just perfect it comes up and over that axle. So we're already starting off here on a positive note because there's so much room to work under here. We have pretty much the entire rear torn apart already, so we have shocks in over there. The sway bar end links are gonna get moved to the front. Ryan's putting the brake line drop bracket in up there. You still have to drop the axle, remove the coils, and then we're pretty much ready to just put everything on the rear back on. Again, these Jeep lifts are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We had this whole rear end pretty much taken apart within 10 minutes. This is the factory rear coil. And there's the new coil. You can see pretty much got like a whole nother curly Q up here, but that's what's going to give you the 2 inches that you need. 2.5 inches, ain't that right, Tom?
Yep, that's right.
2.5 inches is all she needs for now. Alright, so easy enough. We have the back all put together. You can see the Fox shocks are still in the plastic for right now. Sway bar end links, and we have the bump shock extensions with a nice little touch with the R right there in the center, and then the new springs in the rear. We already have most of the front disassembled. We just have to again take these springs out and start putting everything back together. I literally cannot wait to get my wheels and tires in, because right now, I mean, with them off, this looks so official. So like with the road armor fenders and the inner fender liners, and you know how nicely that is bed lined with the Fox shock and this new READYLIFT kit. I mean, just look at that. Right in the wheel well, that is like the freshest look. That means when we get the wheels and tires in, this thing will be pretty much complete for the suspension for Jeep Beach. And I mean, again, look at how fresh that looks with the inner fender liner in the back. Not to say that this looks bad with the, you know, the factory fender liner back here, but the Fox shock really helps it out. The axle dump is back right behind there. If you guys are planning on lifting your Jeep, even if you're gonna do like a little 2.5 inch kit, I would go with READYLIFT. They do have the spacer lift, a little bit cheaper, but you'll just get the spacers that go right on top of your factory springs. You'll still get the 2.5 inch, you'll get the factory ride because you have your factory coils, and then you'll get the shock extensions as well, so you don't have to get new shocks. I went with the new shocks, so that's why I didn't use the shock extensions, because they're measured out for a 2 to 3 inch lift. I just think the Fox, from what Ryan said on his truck, the Fox shocks make a huge difference in ride quality, and I'm really excited to test them out for myself because I've never had them. Alright, so she's officially on the ground, and honestly it doesn't look that much different. I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to seeing these coming in and out of the shop, and I've seen 2.5 inch lifts. It definitely looks like it's been leveled out in the front a little bit, but it's definitely looking a little bit better. And before anybody says anything, I know I need bigger wheels and tires. But here we go, here's what it looks like on the ground. Not a crazy huge difference. I mean, it's just a 2.5 inch lift, but you can see the difference between the top of the wheel and the fender now. And especially in the front, you can see pretty much my entire inner fender liner and the Fox shock back there, and the beginning of the top of the coil I mean, there's just so much space that this gives you. You can run 37s on this, no problem at all. I know in the last video, everybody was like, with the flares, like, you need bigger wheels and tires. I'm like, I know, it's pretty much like the one thing every Jeep needs besides a lift kit. So yes, again, if you haven't seen any of my videos, we're slowly building this together. So I am showing you guys a little bit, pieces of parts of how everything comes together to build something like this. But yeah, like you can see right here, stock tires, 33s, and you can see just how much more space you get. I am going with a different bumper again, so everybody that was complaining about me getting a different bumper, just be patient. Again, there's time for all of this. We are going to be doing like 2 or 3 versions of this Wrangler. So right now we are still working on version 1. Wheels and tires should be in next week, I'm hoping. So if they aren't, it'll definitely be the week after. I know that they were going to paint this week. So yeah, after they get out of paint, they get shipped here, tires, and then we'll just keep rolling. There's just a lot more that I have to do. Not sure if all of it will get done before Jeep Beach, but at least my suspension, wheels, and tires will be done. And that's really all I could ask for, because I don't really want to show up to Jeep Beach, you know, stock, or at least lifted with stock tires. But that being said, and the READYLIFT kit on the Jeep, I do want to point out that I do have the factory Rubicon shocks and Rubicon springs here. I do have the sway bar end links as well. So if anybody is interested, shoot me a DM on Instagram or something. We'll figure something out. Again, same thing with my fenders. The only thing with the fenders is beware. I did have to cut that rear fender liner. This inner fender liner here, I had to cut along the edge because I didn't do the road armor rears. So that is really the only issue with the stock fenders. But I think you can just reuse your factory one again. So if you guys want to change the look of your Mojito Jeep, and if you have the black fenders from factory, I have a set of Rubicon ones in the rear. So even if you're going to put it on a sport, it'll give you the high clearance fender flares for the Rubicon. So color match, of course. So if that's something you guys are interested in, that and this lift kit here, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram at Mojito Ohio. Thank you again to Ryan for helping me out with this lift. Filming and doing work is kind of hard, so it's extra handy to have, well, an extra set of hands. Definitely want to thank Allison. If you show this to your CEO, tell him you need a raise, because you were outstanding customer service. And I really appreciate everything you've done, answering all the questions that Ryan and I have had, and then, you know, showing us some future products that may be coming out, and working with us. And if you guys are interested, Allison's Instagram, I'll link it above here and below in the description. Her Instagram's dope. She has an AMG she just got. She used to have a Ford Focus RS, and she builds these things, and her AMG is like so clean. So go ahead, give her a follow, and let her know that I sent you. And yeah guys, that is going to do it today. There it is. I'll probably get some pictures out in the daylight here, but you could just see, again, there's just so much space for bigger wheels coming soon. I just want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you again so much for 5,000 subscribers. We just hit that actually the day before 4x4 day. I was really hoping to hit it on 4x4 day, but you guys blasted right through it, and we hit it the day before. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for 5,000 subscribers. So here's to 10,000, and we'll catch you in the next one. I almost forgot, now that we have Fox shocks on here and a READYLIFT, it means we get to add some stickers to the tailgate.